Morning, Southwestern family. We're back with another edition of Dishin with Church Lunch. That's a pretty original title, don't you think? Well, it's April 20th, and I am just missing y'all terribly. So I thought that today I would show you how to make, by far, your very favorite dish. It's the dish that we start every new school year with, and every time we come back from winter break, this is the dish we serve. It's chicken spaghetti. So I have taken my recipe that makes, enough for 800, and I've whittled it down to what I think is just going to be a family size. So Brian will post that with this video. So anyway, I already have my spaghetti cooked. It is in this dish. Sorry, this isn't the prettiest dish, but I don't really have anything big enough to mix this all in. So I've cooked my spaghetti al dente. To that, I'm going to add a stick of melted butter. Yum. And my seasonings. In here, I have a half tablespoon of pepper, a tablespoon of garlic salt, and then I have a tablespoon of, it's just the most awesome seasoning. It's Morton's Nature seasoning. But sometimes when I tell people that, they're not familiar with it. So that's what that looks like. Anyway, so I'm gonna just sprinkle this in there. I have a half a cup of diced dried onion flakes. Put that in there. This is about 6 cups of diced, roughly shredded chicken breast. That's going to be about four nice sized breasts. Now I prefer to use rotisserie chicken or grilled chicken when I'm doing this, just because I think it gives it such a better flavor. You can use raw chicken and just boil it in seasoned water if you want, but I think that using the grilled or the rotisserie really makes a huge difference in the flavor. So I'm just kind of mixing that all up initially. Wow, that was loud on that metal pan. Now I'm just going to add a cup of chicken broth. And in this bowl, I've got cream of celery, cream of chicken, and cream of mushroom soups. And the proportions will be in the written recipe. I'm going to mix that in. You really would get a kick out of watching us make these on Saturday morning when we're mixing everything and putting them in the casserole pans, because the food prep island is just full of all these ladies, and we have 3 huge mixing pans that we use, and everybody is very busy trying to get this all mixed together, but it gets kind of thick and your arms get tired. So that's when Brian has to step in, and he kind of takes over getting it mixed up really well. He's our final mixer. And the ladies try not to give him too hard a time. He's pretty fun to pick on though. All right, now I'm just going to get in here and work this with my hands, because it's just hard to do that with a spoon. I know it looks kind of gross, but it really is very yummy. Okay. So everything's pretty much incorporated. Now, when you're making yours, if it looks a little bit dry, just add a little bit more chicken broth to it. You just don't want it too soupy. You don't want it too wet, because then it kind of, when it bakes, it gets kind of gloppy. And those are really technical culinary terms. Now, you know me, I can't cook anything without lots of cheese and butter. So I'm adding my cheese. Get that all good and mixed. And then I'm going to reserve that little bit of cheese just to sprinkle on top of the casserole when we've got it in the pan. It just makes it look so pretty when you take it out of the oven. And And I have been asked by a lot of people if I have like a culinary background or if I've been in a restaurant business or anything, which is really laughable to me because nothing could be further from the truth. I barely passed home economics when I was in high school and really didn't know how to boil water. But God blessed me with a wonderful, loving, kind, sweet mother-in-law. And she was the best cook. And since I was marrying her son, I wanted to learn how to make the stuff that he liked to eat. And she was very sweet to share her cooking with me. So in some way, I just kind of see my cooking every week for church lunch is just an extension of my sweet mother-in-law, Eileen Scott. And I think she would be real pleased with this. Okay, so now I have prepared my pan. I'm going to do a 9x13. I've already sprayed it with Pam. And so I'm just going to put that in there. Then I'm going to top it with our final layer of cheese. And then we will bake this. And we'll come back when it's coming out of the oven. Okay, so our casserole's been baking now for an hour. I covered it and baked it at 350 for 45 minutes. Then I took the foil off and put it back in for another 15 minutes just to kind of let it brown on the top. So I really wish you could smell the kitchen. It smells fabulous. Here we go. Chicken spaghetti. Yum. I've got the recipe for this size pan. Brian's going to post it with this video. And hopefully you'll enjoy making it for yourself at home. Just to remind you guys, I love cooking for y'all. There's a lot of love in this dish. And I just cannot wait until I get to see your happy, smiling, hungry faces in the fall.